Hey Polish fans, it's Caroline again and welcome to another video here at Wild Wind Lacquer. In today's video we have part 2 of my big haul of nail polish from Goodwill. This is the second large bag that I got for $5.99 a bag. Normally when I find bags this large at Goodwill they are priced much more than just $5.99, so I was really excited to find some with nail polish that I was interested in. And this one has a good variety of brands in it. We have everything from Wet n Wild to Revlon and a few China glazes, and I think at least one from Pure Ice. So I can't wait to see what we have in this one. I think there's at least a few colors that I was excited about. One for fall and one for winter. So let's go ahead and dig in. Oh, that's right. There's a hard candy in this one. Woo! Okay, so first off, we have one by Wet n Wild. This is part of their Fergie collection, and this one is called Grammy Gold. Now, this one is a gold. Golds aren't exactly my favorite, so we will be destashing this one, but it does appear to be in good shape. It's moving around quite nicely in there. So Wet n Wild's Grammy Gold is going in the destash. Next up, we have one from Essence. This one is part of their Beauty Beats line, and this one is called As Long As You Love Me. Is that a Backstreet Boys song? I think that might be a Backstreet Boys song. This is a really soft shade of like dove gray. There is some shimmer in here. It's a little bit dried out along the edge of the bottle. So there it is on the brush. There's that subtle shimmer to it. I think I will hold on to this and compare it to some of my other shades of gray. I do like grays, so I want to see how this compares to others in my collection, and it is one that I definitely don't have. So that was Essence Nail Polish, As Long As You Love Me. Next up, we have one from Maybelline, New York. This one is called Porcelain Party. This one I think might be like an off-white. Yeah, a very subtle off-white cream. Not the most exciting thing in the world. I have actually kept quite a few whites and off-whites to try. Actually, on camera, it's coming off even more of an off-white that I actually kind of think I like against my skin tone. So I was going to say we're going to destash it, but I guess we're adding another off-white to my collection to swatch and compare to the other ones that I've held on to. That was surprising me. But in any case, that one was Porcelain Party, going in the keep pile, oddly enough. Okay. Next up, we have one from Unforgettable Moments. We got a couple of these in bag number 1. This one is called Sapphire. I think they came from the same collection because we had garnet and gold in part 1. This is a beautiful, well, sapphire blue. It still appears to be in great shape. This is a deep, deep sapphire blue. I think we will be holding on to this one. I like this tone, this deep, deep blue. I will have to see how it compares to other shades that are kind of like this in my collection, but I like it, so we're going to hold on to that one. We've got a green from Revlon called Posh. The name sounds familiar. It definitely is suffering from some ugly bottle syndrome. It has some white pigment that has settled on the sides of the bottle, but here's how it looks on the brush. Now this is a kind of shade of green that I just don't see myself reaching for, so we will be adding that to the destash. Next up, this was one that I was excited about. This one is a Revlon called Not So Blueberry, and actually this I think is supposed to say part of their perfume collection. But look at that shimmer. This is kind of like a periwinkly, blurply shade, and I absolutely love blurples, purples, and anything that falls into the shades in between blue and purple. So this is definitely going in the keep pile, and it's one that I don't own yet. Look at that. It's just beautiful. So that was Not So Blueberry. The next one is from Wet n Wild. Ooh, this seems dried out. This one is Ebony Hates Chris. This is one that I recently got in a mainstream mystery box, and it is also one that I've owned in my own collection for many years. So this one I can already say is very, very, very dried out. So we're just going to trash that one as a basic standard black. I don't see that it's worth really reviving. Next up, we have one from Maybelline. This is Denim Dash. That sounds familiar. This one might be one that I either already ran across at some point or maybe even have in my collection. but it's a really beautiful shade of blue. There's some shimmer in here as well. I think we're going to add this to the check and see pile to see if I do own it or not. Same rules apply. If I do already own it, this one's going in the D-stash. Next up, we have a Wet n Wild in their Mega Last line. This is called Heat Wave. This is like an electric orange cantaloupe shade. It appears to be actually in very good shape still. There's something about this that I actually kind of like. It sort of reminds me of a deeper saturated version of China Glaze's Flip Flop Fantasy, maybe a bit more orange leaning and less creamy, if that makes sense. So I want to at least swatch this and see. I do really like these brighter shades of coral to orange, so we'll be putting that in the keep pile. We'll have to do some comparisons at some point. Ooh, this one is not in good shape. This one is called Club Havana from Wet n Wild. And this one's just completely dried out. So that one's going in the garbage. All right. Next up, we have one by NYC. This one is called Lincoln Square Lavender. And it's a pink, oddly enough. So it does need still to be shaken rather well. But here it is on the brush. Sort of like a Pepto-Bismol pink. Not my favorite color. I am still rather particular about my shades of pink, and I have already kept at least something close from OPI that was in a slightly different tone that I was drawn to more than this one, so we're going to be destashing that one. Next up, we have one from China Glaze. This one was called Rare and Radiant, and this is a gorgeous shade of green. I don't believe I have this one, and this is beautiful for fall. This has a mix of green, gold, and I think some blue at the edges. Yeah, you can sort of see that peeking through every once in a while. This looks like it's moving around beautifully in the bottle, so we'll be adding that to the keep pile. That's a gorgeous one. That was Rare and Radiant. Next up was another one I was excited to see. This one is from Pure Ice, and it is called First Time. Look at this green. I actually really like this kind of finish, this metallic finish, and this is a beautiful shade of green. It's kind of a mossy shade, but there's something else going on that I just can't quite pinpoint as a description, but it's a beautiful shade. And again, I love this type of finish on the nail, so we will be holding on to this. It's another one that I don't have, and I've been holding on to any of the Pure Ices that I find since they are no longer made, so that one is going in the keep pile. That is Pure Ice's First Time. Next up, we've got another essence. This one is in a different line. This is their Color and Go, and this one is called Here's My Number. And this, I think, is the bottle shape that I was more familiar with from Essence. They seem to have at least a few different lines. This is one that I hadn't seen before. And then the ones that I got when I ordered directly from their website were more like pill shaped, so like round at the top. But the first Essence that I ever had was this shape. I don't even know what you would call it. Almost like a little figure eight. But this one is a beautiful glitter, and I think that they're saying it is a sand effect. So it's possible that this is like the Zoya Pixie Dusts, where it has a texture to it. So let's go ahead and swatch it and see. So I've never seen a texture polish from them either. They are harder to come by here in the States. I've managed to find one resale shop, and they don't have all of the colors. So there it is in one coat. We're going to have to let that dry to see the pixel effect. And here's a second coat. It is definitely a thicker formula, most likely because it has that textural component. It does have a lot going on in there. You've got a silver shimmer, you've got some hollow micro glitter. So there it is in two coats. We're going to let that dry completely so we can see the finish, and then maybe we'll come back to that and make my decision after I see how it dries. But it is really pretty. I just am not too sure if I would wear it at this point, so we're going to decide later. Next up, we have an Orly. This one is called Rage, and I do already have this one. This one is in need of a bit of a shake. This is one of the polishes that I do have. It's a beautiful light copper, beautiful metallic, and this one seems to be in fantastic shape, so we're going to put that in the D-stash. That was Orly's Rage. Next up, we have one covered up. I'm not sure what this is. Hang on. All right, so this one is called Sonia Kashuk. That is a new to me brand, so if you're familiar with that, let me know. And this one is called Hocus Pocus Interesting. Well, this is a beautiful shade of like mulberry leaning purple. It appears to be a cream formula. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at that color. Hopefully it's coming across on camera. This is a stunning shade. Now, I have kept quite a few of this berry leaning purple, so this is another color family that I will have to do some comparisons of sooner or later, but it's gorgeous, and since it's a new to me brand, I know I don't have it, so we're going to add that to the keep pile. That was Hocus Pocus by Sonia Kashuk. Next up is another one that I was excited to see. This one I think is another fall shade from Rimmel London, and this one is called Lava Red. Look at this. So this has a beautiful blackened base with some red to orange shifting shimmer. This is another one that I want to see how it swatches, but I love the shimmer. Sort of reminds me of one of the pure ices that I had that I think was called Cabernet or something like that. See that beautiful red shimmer? Love the brush on this. So yeah, you can definitely see that beautiful red shimmer. It is a bit on the sheer side in that first coat, but that shimmer is really, really pretty. Let's do that second coat. Ooh. Oh, that's pretty. So that second coat definitely helped make this more opaque. Very vampy on the nail. I'm actually struggling to decide if I think I would enjoy this or if I wish that this was a bit more vibrant, like a bit more of a pinch of red in the base instead of it being in like a black jelly. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and destash this one. I was excited about it, but I just don't know that I would reach for it. There are other shades that I'm more excited about for fall, so I think we'll pass this one along to someone that will enjoy it. So that was Rimmel's Lava Red. All right, just a few more. We've got a hard candy. This is another brand that I was excited to see in the bag. This one is called Piece of Papaya. This is a really beautiful coral shade full of a large glass fleck shimmer particle. This one appears to be in really good shape. And I mean, just look at the glass flecks on this. This is gorgeous. This is a brand that I don't have a lot of, which kind of surprises me considering this was one of the brands that I discovered very early on. I remember this from back in the day when I was a teenager, and yet somehow I don't have very many from them. And the ones that I do have are recent additions. So we're adding that to the keep pile. All right, next up we have one from Wet n Wild. This one is called Tropicalia. This one is an interesting shade. It's sort of like a coral pink, but it's a very interesting tone of coral pink. Maybe it's got like an orange lean to it, like a pink, like a watermelon pink. Look at that color. I like it. I like it. I think we're adding this one to the keep pile. I will have to do some comparisons to ones that I already have that are in this color family, see how the formula compares to those ones, but we're putting Tropicalia into the keep pile. All right, just one last one before we go and see how our essence is drying. This is a Sally Hansen called Golden Eye. I wonder if this one came out in the James Bond collection. I don't know if Sally Hansen did a James Bond collection, but this is, well, it's a gold. It's still in need of a bit of a shake. Golds are kind of like yellows in my eyes. They aren't my favorites, so I will be passing this one along. It is another gold shimmer, kind of like the one from Wet n Wild. So that's going in the destash. All right, let's check on our essence. It is not 100% dry. I think these textured polishes can take a bit longer to dry. I can kind of see the texture forming. I don't know if that's going to come across on camera at all. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think I see myself reaching for this one, especially right now. I'm too excited about the fall colors, so I think we're going to pass this one along. That was Essence's Here's My Number All right, so here's what I'm keeping from bag number 2. We got a new to me brand, a nostalgic brand, and a few other colors that I'm really excited to try. This one from Revlon is gorgeous, and so is this one from China Glaze. And then of course the Pure Ice. I think this is another one that I'm really excited to try for fall. It's a beautiful shade. So there you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed looking at some beautiful polish. If you're new, make sure to hit the little subscribe button down below and the little bell notification. That way you don't miss out on any of my new videos, and I will see you in that next one.